Ready, bud? Right? Yeah. Right on the heart. Right on the heart. Okay, Brooks Boulanger here with B&B Drainage Solutions, and today we are breaking ground on the surface drainage portion of this project. And we've already set our 12-inch catch basin over there. We've started with our first piece of 6-inch discharge line. So what I'm going to do now is show you how we set our catch basin and then how we establish our grade. Okay, so we're going to go over the installation steps for a 12-inch catch basin. Some of these things that I'm doing here, you don't absolutely necessarily have to do, especially whenever you're installing a catch basin out in the middle of your yard. It's just the way that I've always done it, plus I want to show you how we do it. And now these steps right here, if you're installing this catch basin anywhere around your foundation, then I absolutely encourage you and recommend that you follow these steps so far as installing a catch basin around the foundation of your home. So we got some 100% waterproof silicone, and we're going to run a bead here around the edge, right here, something like that. This is our plug for a 12-inch catch basin. We only have one outlet discharge line coming out of this catch basin, and that's your adapter. This is a 12-inch catch basin kit. Comes with a universal outlet, which takes 4-inch and 3-inch corrugated and solid PVC pipe. And I want to do the same process here. Oh yeah. Gobs and gobs of it. So normally I have some plastic gloves on to do this, but I left them in the truck. I can't stand silicone on my fingers. There we go. So definitely follow and recommend those steps right there whenever installing a catch basin around your home. Now, the next step that we're getting ready to do, and that's setting and bringing our catch basin to grade. This is my opinion and my thoughts. We're going to set this catch basin on about a 2-inch to 3-inch gravel base. I recommend you do that out in your yard. Also recommend that you do that around your foundation. Here in the yard, we're going to go ahead and drill a couple holes in the bottom of this catch basin to allow the water that remains in the sump area to percolate out. I do not recommend that you do that around your foundation. Those are my thoughts, and that's the way that I do it. So I'm going to show you how we're going to set this catch basin and bring it to grade and get our gravel in there, and then drill our holes into the bottom of our catch basin. So we're going to get ready to set our catch basin, and as you can see right there, it's, I don't know, probably a good 4 to 5 inches below grade, so we need to bring it up. We're going to do that by placing gravel beneath it. And this is something else that I want to point out, how we establish our grade. What I do is dig my trench the first 10 feet. I dig it a little bit deeper than I know it needs to be. A couple of reasons. First one is that allows me to place my gravel beneath my catch basin and bring it up to the proper grade. And then I'm going to attach my first stick of PVC pipe to my catch basin and then run it out, check my grade, get my grade correct, and once I get my grade correct, that is my guide for the rest of the system. And I found for me that is the quickest way and most efficient way whenever dealing with PVC pipe. Always dig your trench a little bit deeper than you think it needs to be, and it'll allow you to adjust it, because like I've said in the past, solid PVC pipe is not as forgiving as corrugated pipe whenever you're installing it into your trench. Any rocks, any humps, any bumps that may be in your trench will throw your grade off. So let's get the gravel, let's get our stick of PVC pipe, and let's start bringing this all to grade, and then we'll keep on going. We want our catch basin to be about a 1/4 inch or perhaps just less below grade. I think a little bit more gravel and we'll be good. Okay, so we got our first stick of PVC pipe laid in here and slid it into our catch basin. It's not secure yet. We'll do that here in a second. So what we want to do now is find our grade, and it's a real simple process. You don't need lasers and all that stuff. Listen, this right here, you know, is more than sufficient to make sure you got the proper grading. So what we do is we're basically going to set this on here. If our bubble's all the way to the back, we know we got at least a minimum of 1% slope, and that's all we need for this system. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I've got my torpedo level on there. I know that I'm at 1% slope. I mean, it was pretty obvious to tell just by eyeballing it. But what I want to do now is find my minimal of 1% slope. And then what I will do is set the pipe. I'll go ahead and backfill it underneath it, get it to the correct grade. And then that will be my visual for the rest of my trenching, and that's the way that I found that it works for me and ensures that you have a quick and easy installation process. What I'm doing down here is I'm going to continue to raise it until I get level. I'm now level, and then I'm going to bring it back down until my bubble goes all the way to the back, and that's right there. That tells me that's my grade, my 1% grade. Take a rock or something, set it under there. Once you set that, double check your slope. And there we go. We are now at a minimal of 1% slope, and that's all we need for this system. That's more than sufficient whenever you're using solid PVC pipe. So we got that. Now what I'm going to do is just slightly backfill it in a few areas, and then I'll come back up there and get my catch basin all nice and set and level, and then we'll backfill around our catch basin and secure this PVC pipe. I don't recommend you do it this time is cover the PVC pipe. I'm just trying to get a few areas underneath it so that I can maintain my grade on my pipe. If you cover it and something goes wrong and you need to make an adjustment, then you gotta dig the damn thing back up. We can see that our bubble is all the way to the back, so we know we got 1% slope. How many times have I said that now? About 100? Okay, so let's get this pipe secure to our outlet adapter. Like I said, if you're doing this around your foundation, you want to definitely make it watertight. We're out here in the yard, it's not absolutely necessary. So actually I'm not even going to pipe tape this one. I'm just going to go ahead and put a screw through the outlet adapter into the PVC pipe. Also want to recommend or point out that I found you get a better connection when you slide the beveled end of the PVC pipe into that adapter. So definitely do that. Now we've got our catch basin set nice and level, and what you want to do on the next step of setting your catch basin is you want to make sure that you pack the soil around it as much as possible and as tightly as possible, and that'll ensure that your catch basin remains nice and level throughout the life of the system. So let's get started on that. Okay, at this point we're ready to set our catch basin, and this step I feel is pretty important. We want to make sure that we pack the soil around it very tightly. While we're doing this, whether you tape it, put a plastic sack over it, I just simply use the sack that the pea gravel came in, put my grate in there, slid it in there, set it on here. That'll prevent any dirt from falling into your catch basin, and you don't have to clean it out. I leave the level on there so that I can see if I knock it uneven, I can easily readjust it as I go. And we just want to make sure we pack the soil around here as tight as possible. I use the back end of my shovel or whatever else I may be using. I'm going to continue to do this, and then once I've done this, I'll continue digging my trench. Alright, so we've set our catch basin. It's not 100% to grade and completely set, but it is nice and secure and leveled. We've got our first stick of 4-inch PVC pipe in our drain line over here. Same thing over here. This catch basin isn't secure and completely set. That's our 6-inch main discharge line. So I'd want to point out that you want to make sure that everything's going to come together, because we will be using that 6-inch way right here to bring the 6-inch main line and the 4-inch discharge line together. So make sure that you've marked everything so that everything will line up. You can't see our lines now. We've already started digging into them. But everything was marked and we're good. So we'll get to this connection point. So there you go. There's the process for establishing and determining your slope for your drain line, and also the steps for setting your catch basin for your drain line to come into it. Make sure you follow these steps accordingly, and if you do so, especially if you get that first stick and get your catch basin set to grade and get everything secured like I showed you in the video, you'll have no problem moving forward as you continue to dig your ditch. That first stick serves as an excellent visual, and you can continue to move down the line digging your trench, knowing that your slope is going to remain constant throughout the digging process. I do want to point out that some other guys that I know that do this type of work, they like to start where the drain line ends and work back. I'm not saying you can't do it that way. I'm not saying that way doesn't work. I've tried it. It didn't work for me, and I found that this process was a lot quicker and a lot smoother process. So far as land surveying equipment, look, 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, our job sites just do not warrant for that type of equipment to determine our slope. There are a few instances where they would be helpful. However, even then, you just don't need them. Look, that's a bunch of alien equipment with lasers and all kinds of jibber jabber. You don't need it, and hopefully in the future I'll do a video on determining your slope on a more challenging job site. But in the meantime, I said this was going to be a 3-part series. We're going to make it a 4-part, so stay tuned for part 4, when we'll go over the installation process for the sump pump and the gutter downspout drain lines on the north side of this property. But here's some closing clips as we backfill the make mistakes from time to time.